Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for clicking on this video and watching it. Well, this video is going to be about 5 albums that inspired my musical journey. And this was all started by a gentleman in the VC, that's Pat, Close to the Edge. I just subbed to his channel today. And I have watched a few of his videos and enjoyed his content. The video that I saw that did a response to it is the video that I made a comment on, and Pat said he would be interested in hearing my musical journey. And that is Steve over at A is for Alice, B is for Bob, C is for The Cure, the band The Cure with Robert Smith, the only cure I need. I didn't know how to approach this, so let me just do a little, I didn't know if I was, how serious I really needed to be. I kind of wanted to do this little intro where I said as I was coming into the world and my ears fully developed as a young baby, the music of Host, the track of Bringer of War, Mars, was playing as I came into the world. Classical music has been part of my musical journey as well, and this is one of my favorite pieces of music. But enough clowning around here. Let's get into the video. 5 records. Early inspiration were from family. I grew up in a family that enjoyed playing records, sitting around listening to them. I heard Latino music, heard a little bit of classical music. My grandmother had a Jimi Hendrix album in her collection, Are You Experienced, that she said that, oh, I bought that at a garage sale for 50 cents. I thought that was really cool. And then getting into rock music and then collecting records, I would say at the early age of 7 or 8 or 9 years old. So let me just show the records, and then that's where this is the meat of the video. 5 albums. That was really tough because I listen to a lot of things and I'm inspired by a lot of things. I used to, about 4 years ago, was always looking for new stuff to listen to, getting into world music, reggae, those kind of things. But I've kind of slowed down because as I'm getting older, I wanted to have a little bit more of a manageable music collection, if that makes any sense. So the 5 records, I know, I'm getting there. This would be one of them. The Beatles' Revolver. I've always and still loved this record and listened to this record. And it's very an inspiring album of what the Beatles were taking their music in a different direction. Not so many songs about love, boy and girl, anything, but more songs about different types of subject, you know, like Tomorrow Never Knows or She Said. And one of the best guitar riff songs is on this album, in my opinion, and that's Taxman. Another track that very inspired me as well too, and listened to quite a bit is And Your Bird Can Sing. Totally different rocking style songs. Revolver always has a place in my heart. The next one, when I got into this band, it was when I was at a friend's house and he was playing this VHS tape. I think it was Top of the Pops or one of those British shows from back then. And I heard The Kids Are All Right being performed by my favorite rock band of all time, The Who. And I was like, starstruck by it. I was like, who is that? That sounds really good. I love the drumming. But their debut album, My Generation, The Who, I love this record. This is, to me, I know they sometimes have a classification for this of being mod and rock, and that's true. But they do a lot of R&B and soul and pop rock on this. It just makes this album so energetic, so fun to listen to, so to where I want to pick up my guitar and come up with something. But yes, The Who, My Generation, on my playlist, even to this day. Now, these next 3 albums would take me into that journey for sure, into the prog rock. And that's my favorite genre of music. My favorite band is Yes. And these 3 records, I don't really show a Yes album in here, but I would say that these 3 records right here really influenced me. They're inspiring. They're the type of albums when I can escape from the troubles of the world and listen to these and just go on my continuation of enjoying music in my sanctuary. And so, the Moody Blues, Days of Future Past. I'll never forget when I first heard Nights in White Satin. A song that blew me away. A song that was very haunting. And everything was so good about it. The way it sounded, the way it was vocal presentation, or what do you want to say, a vocal delivery, the orchestra, just amazing, and just like also almost like a dream type song, you know, a theme song for nighttime. I would say that this record is so inspired that it also was one of the stepping stones to me listening to and enjoying classical music. This album is an album that's a concept about, in my opinion, about a whole day. Sometimes it just sounds like it's my whole day. But Tuesday afternoon and peak hour, those are just classic tracks on here. I'm very grateful for the music of the Moody Blues. All right, next, we're going to get a little bit harder, dark, but proggy. This album, whenever I start up my collection, because there was a while there where I stopped buying records, I even stopped buying CDs, and then I start up again, and I always make sure that I have this album in my collection. It's one of my favorites, and that's Rush, Caress of Steel. This is my CD copy. I'm trying to hold out to see if I can get me an early pressing of this album. Would be really cool, but I love this record. I was in a band during high school, and this album inspired me so much that I try to present ideas to the band I was in, and they were not. They just, I don't know if we were just on different plateaus, but they were not finding anything that I wanted to do a little bit more proggy. They were just not down for that. They wanted to continue on the road of just good old classic rock with Neil Young and Deep Purple. But I wanted to do stuff like The Fountain of Lameth. What else is on here? The Nuncer, or even Bastille Day, that beginning. But this album is so good in my opinion. I love it. It's dark. It's edgy. It was almost probably the album that was maybe had not 2112 came out. But yeah, this album has still been a big influence in my life. I listen to it even on summer days, rainy days, blue skies, but to me, a powerful record in my life. Okay, the last and my favorite album of all time, and another one that led me on that path to more prog. Honestly, these days, I would say that I'm more of a classic prog rock fan, but I do listen to newer prog type groups like Spock's Beard and the Flower Kings, Dream Theater. But this album right here says it all for me. My favorite album of all time. You know what it is. I'm wearing the cap for it. That's Dark Side of the Moon. A record that was given to me on my birthday way back. It was a blind buy. I always used to see this record store in this little, kind of like a small store, like a Walmart. And I kept walking by it all the time. And I was like, what is on it? Because when I saw this album, none of these hype stickers were on it. But it had a curiosity to me. It had like, come on in. The door is open. Enter into the gates. So when I first listened to this album with headphones on, it blew me away, and it still does. I did recognize the song Money and did not know that the band was Pink Floyd until I got this album. I love everything about it. I love the singing on The Great Gig in the Sky, which has like a gospel feel, which I do listen to gospel music as well. But then you have some great saxophone playing that led me on that journey to listening to Blue Note, early Blue Note artists. But this record has it all. Rock. I mean, this says a lot. The lyrics that we used to quote to each other back in the day about when it was our birthday. You know, how you feeling on your birthday? You know, one day closer to death. You know, the lyrics in the song Time, which is an amazing song and not too hard to play on the guitar. Probably, I'm more of a guy that likes to write simple, easy songs, but kind of really punchy as well. But Dark Side of the Moon, big influence on me. I mean, it led me into other genres of music, and I would say like classical. I've already said jazz. I've already said gospel. I would even say ambient type music. Just a very powerful and emotional album. And rest in peace to my grandmother who gave it to me on my birthday. And that took me to reaching for higher mountains and entering the world of prog on down the line. Well, hopefully you might enjoy that out there, whoever watches it. But those are the 5 albums for my musical journey. Ones that I still listen to, ones that are very therapeutic to me and my mind. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave me a like. Drop me a comment if you like any of these records. I'd like to hear from you. Take care, everybody. And thanks again, Pat. We'll see you soon.